Maybe we should start with this guy down
So
here.
how many years before it actually produces the fruit?
Oh, they can produce fairly quickly. I mean, they're not as quick as peaches or some things, but yeah, I mean, a big tree like this was fruiting the same year, next year, quickly from a planted tree. So you can see how they tend to be very vertical, the branches. I would like to do more of this with them, which is training them to grow at the, see, this is a nice branch union here, nice angle. But then it tends to go super vertical, even though we cut it here to an outward facing bud. Can you see that? So you're like, okay. And when we cut it here, this grew, and then the little fruiting spurs were down below. So even though we cut to an outward facing bud, it wants to go super vertical. So I think just some gentle training, what I'd call spreading, you know, see this nice attachments, but just bend it out a little bit more to give it a little more spreading vibe is I think what we need with a lot of these. Here's the problem. I mean, realistic, can you see the problem here? The disease? This is called fire blight. See these blackened branches? No buds. This is another great reason to do delayed dormant pruning. When you see the buds emerge, you know what's alive and what's dead. Now, can you see the necrosis in the bark? See that? Look at it, comes all the way to here in the middle of the tree. We're screwed. This is terrible. You know? Look at this. Where am I going to cut this? I got to cut 3 inches below that? I'm beheading this tree. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get out a saw and cut this tree down because I want to force all this growth that's happening now. I want to force into new shoots and start over because this will kill the whole tree. I want to get ahead of it, cut it out, and see if I can get some new shoots that are healthy without the fire blight.
You can do that drastic cut
Right now.
this late.
I should have a saw in my pocket and I do it right now in front of me. Because it's also above the graft union.
Right.
See, this is rootstock. They put a bud in an existing big tree. They let it grow over the winter. Then they cut it off and then that bud grew the whole next big tree, right?
So if there's blight in the rootstock, you're just done?
Oh yeah, forget it.
Yeah.
So that's what happened here. Look at this one. See what I did? That was this. I did this in the summertime. See what I did to this one? Brutal. That's what I want to do to the other one. Now I got a nice shoot. This is above the graft. Hey, look at that. We had a lot of kids out here, man. Sorry. So see this shoot came out above the bud. See it here? Here's the rootstock. See that union? That's very important to see what I'm talking about here. See that? This is the graft union where the bud came out of the rootstock here. This was where the rootstock tree was that they cut off and the bud exploded up. So these were my cleanest areas. So I cut it to here. I got a couple branches. I might just cut this off because this is a nice structured little tree. I like this little tree right now. I would, you know, do a couple things to it, but that's a nice little tree. Whereas these are kind of, I might just make a diagonal cut right here and go with this tree the whole way, hoping that the fire blight won't catch up with it. That's the result of fire blight. Let's look at this last one because we got to get back. Wendy wants to address all of you.
Yeah, Wendy's said in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know, it's been 10. Take a 5-minute break in. So you can see here, we've let this tree go. We didn't do very many topping cuts on it, did we? Here's a topping cut here. See this cut? And we got these 4 branches to come out, 5 branches. See this cut here? Can't see, but my finger's on it.
Yeah, I can see.
Now compared to those trees, look at where that heading cut was. Knee or even ankle in some case, right? That's called open center. This is more of what I would call a, not so much a single stem or, I'm sorry, the words are escaping me. Central leader, thank you. Not so much a central leader, but I would call it a shared leader. What's the term? Come on.
Modified?
Modified central leader. Thank you. Somebody's awake. Modified central leader means you have multiple central leaders. So in this case, we have these kind of 4. This one wants to be it, but we topped it and topped it again and topped it again. And we topped it here and we topped it there. See what we're doing? And we topped it here. And then this is getting too tall for me. I would keep this as the last rung and thin. And so let me just show you some stuff I would do. Also, very vertical, nice crotches, 45, bigger than 45 degrees. This is a little narrow. I don't like this one, a little bit narrow. That's the minimum. See the bark starting to build up if you get too narrow? Look at this one. It's a little bit too narrow, isn't it? Less than 45 degrees. See the bark starting to build up? Look at this one. Nice 50-degree angle here, almost 60. Well, that's a good 45. And
you don't want anything horizontal, definitely not down.
No, you know, it's okay. Like, see this one that's bending down?
Yeah.
It's just going to be fruitful, but there's no sun down there. So I'm going to shorten that up. See these ones hanging down here? They can be fruitful, but I'd like to shorten them up and let these get trained out more, not in the path so much, so I'll probably do stuff like this. Give it out of the path, so I'm just access here. This is so low, probably going to take it out, but I'm doing these thinning cuts, taking out the vertical stuff and preferring these sideways shoots more. This is just too crowded in here. See all this stuff? There's no light. So you think of light on these fruit and flowers, and when this is fully leafed out. See this branch? It's so crowded in here. Where are you going, you guys? So part of this is, can this get bent out? I would like that. See, there's a lack of branches in here, so I don't want to let it get sunburned. But see, all these branches are too vertical. I just want to spread them a little bit. So see this? This is a branch spreader. See this thing right here? This piece of wood? These two were much closer together, and we tried to diverge them when they were young like this, where you can actually bend them. And pears are very flexible. Pears are very flexible trees. I mean, you can, that's why you could do the Belgian fence. You can make a heart in your lover's name and the whole thing.
How long can that block stay there?
It could be removed now probably, because I'm sure it's been there at least a season. But see how I'm taking out the vertical stuff and getting them to branch out? You can either do that or you can do this. What do you have time for? Is somebody going to maintain a prop? Maybe. So what you can do is sometimes use a branch that you've cut out as a prop. So I go both ways. I see in here, this is too crowded. Somebody's got to go. So what am I going to do? Pull this one this way and that one that way? These parallel branches eventually are going to rub at each other, right? So we have to make some decisions in here. I would probably say this is a stronger branch. Let this one come out this way and bend this one out and probably get rid of this one eventually.
Is this little one crowding?
Absolutely it is.
Too?
Absolutely it is. So I probably just do that to it because maybe it'll do some fruit in there. This one too. There's a big cluster of branches here and nothing, and then a big cluster of branches there. So there's something about this I kind of do like. So I might think about, you know, maybe keeping some of it around. Because I'm also looking a few years in the future, like, well, maybe I just get rid of this whole thing altogether and let this little guy come out more, you know. If I bend this out, will this take over? That would be okay. See what I mean? So you're kind of looking ahead a little bit. You're seeing what happened in years past. I'm just heading these back a little because I want some lower branching on these. They get so long and tall. But let's look way up here. This is just getting out of my reach, you know? I don't want to see all this really high stuff. And remember, winter pruning is going to do what? Stimulate growth. So I'm directing new growth here. And I just want to get that a little, I want to branch out more. See, I'm heading to branch out more. Thinning to eliminate, right? Branch out. You're too vertical. Branch out. Making sense at all? So I head back to get some branches, and then I do a thinning cut to eliminate. See? So this is going to branch out, and I've eliminated. So again, with this one, see how it's going on the inside? Get rid of that. Head it back. This one, maybe. That one outward facing. So even if I bring this out a little bit, just a little bit, you should probably go. I'll just stand over here and do, that's what I do every day, so, you know, I could just stand here for hours. So look, some spurs. I like fruiting spurs, so I'll probably won't eliminate it all the way. I'll keep some spurs and maybe head those back like this. See, that's a nice sized tree. I don't really want it any higher. See all this stuff up here?
because you'd need a ladder to pick it.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. But I don't want to get the ladder, bring it all the way up here.
Big sweet fruit down where you can reach it.
Exactly. See, this is going in.
There'll be less theft if you need a ladder.
Now you're
Good
thinking
point.
like a
Well,
thief
the
there, buddy.
raccoons don't need a ladder.